Hey there nation, and welcome to the show where we help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander Cheapskate, and we are back with a very special channel update. And on this channel update, we have surpassed 3,000 subscribers. That to me is totally insane. Oh man, I can't believe that we actually made it to 3,000 subscribers on this channel. That is so fantastic. I can't even describe to you exactly how awesome that really is. I mean, never in my dreams would ever think I'd ever make it to 3,000 subscribers, which is totally insane to me because when I first started this channel, I thought getting to 1,000 subscribers was going to be nuts, and now we've actually now surpassed 3,000 subscribers since this channel has been around, which is absolutely fantastic. I can't believe that you guys have come along with me on this journey to miniatures wargaming and exploring the different topics that we do in miniatures wargaming with battle reports and tutorials and showcases and cheap money saving options for you guys and game reviews and all the other things that we've done together over the past I think 7 years this channel has been on YouTube. So yeah, I can't believe we actually made it this far with 3,000 subscribers, and it's so cool because you guys have been there every step of the way with your subscriptions, your comments, also with your thumbs up and also thumbs down as well, both positive and negative comments as well, feedback, tips and ideas that you guys come up with for some of the various things that you guys want to see in terms of topics you want to see covered, ways I can improve my videos and so forth. So thank you once again, and thank you so much for helping me achieve this goal of over 3,000 subscribers. So before we go any further with the thank yous and talking about exactly what you can expect from this channel in the future, let's go ahead and talk about a brief history of this channel so far. So originally, I started this channel back in the winter of 2014. I actually registered this name on the YouTube, and I did not actually post my very first video until January 27, 2015. That was actually the very first time I actually posted a video on this channel. It was a Warhammer Fantasy Battle Report from 8th edition Warhammer Fantasy, and then that's where I basically started off. I originally started off with that content. Eventually, of course, when Warhammer when Warhammer Fantasy died and it was replaced with Warhammer Age of Sigmar, for about 6 months I didn't make any new content. I actually thought about abandoning the channel actually afterwards because I was just going to do Warhammer Fantasy stuff only. But then I decided to come back again. I did try Warhammer Age of Sigmar with my friends and I, but we didn't care for that gaming system so much. So we stuck with Warhammer Fantasy, and that's originally what we started off with this content with. And then eventually, of course, we did transition to Necromunda, and then from Necromunda, we just totally climbed from there. So over a span over 5 years, from January 27, 2015 to December 11th, 2020, we actually reached 1,000 subscribers in the year 2020. So while 2020 was a horrible year and all the horrible stuff that was happening, that's actually when we hit our very first milestone. So that part was absolutely fantastic, and I can't believe that we actually reached 1,000 subs during that time period as well, which is absolutely fantastic. And then from there, 2 years later, on February 26, 2022, we actually reached our goal of 2,000 subscribers. So 2 years later is when we actually did that. So that part was really cool too, and that was a huge milestone for this channel, actually making it to that 2,000 subscriber mark. And that's when I realized, oh my God, we really totally went past everything I actually was thinking we were ever to get to. I thought 1,000 subscribers was the most we'd ever have, and then we passed 2,000 subscribers at that point. And then 7 months later, from February to September 10th, 2022, on that date I managed to surpass 3,000 subscribers, and so now that's where exactly we're at now. It's at 3,000 plus subscribers on this channel, which is absolutely insane. Never thought I would see the day where actually our channel made it to 3,000. So once again, you guys, thank you so much again for your guys' subscriptions to this channel, your likes, even your negative and positive comments, even, because that kind of helped me address some things I need to improve on. And thank you for the positive comments as well, because it really gets going. What I really loved, especially during this time period of this channel, is I'm getting a lot of questions now. Questions about how to do things for different games, different rule questions, different campaign questions, how to set up campaigns, how to do things in the hobby as well. And I've been loving the feedback I've been getting from you guys and helping you guys out on your miniature wargaming hobby as well. So thank you very much. It's been a huge honor to be able to be a part of that and helping out a lot of people do things on this channel as well, with a lot of the tutorials that we provide, as well as explanations of game rules, as well as building gangs and such. So with that being said, we're going to actually give a quick rundown of what you guys can expect for our channel, what kind of content you expect from now all the way into the end of the 2023 year, and then 2022 year, and then we'll talk about exactly what you guys can expect in the years coming down the road for 2023. So as always, we will keep on maintaining the Golden Age, which is our series of 8th edition Warhammer Fantasy Battle Reports that we do on this channel. This is the very first content we started with on this channel, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Unless, of course, Games Workshop finally does release Warhammer the Old World. If they do finally release that game system, we might drop the Golden Age and play that system instead, depending on how things are going with that. But yeah, Warhammer Fantasy has always been a big part of this channel. It's actually what we mainly got us, well, my gaming group and I, into miniatures wargaming, was was Warhammer Fantasy. It's been a big part of my miniature wargaming life, and as well as my friends' life, so we're just going to keep on playing that no matter what form it takes. Just because the Old World was such a great setting, the lore, the characters, the game mechanics, everything about that was just absolutely fantastic. And it's so cool now because now you're starting to see channels pop up now that are actually doing older editions of Warhammer Fantasy. Now you're starting to see 4th, 5th, and 6th edition Warhammer Fantasy battle reports. You also have some guys who are doing things like Oldhammer with like 3rd and 2nd edition Warhammer Fantasy. So that part is absolutely fantastic. I'm loving to see how all these people are now on the channels are now creating content from the older editions in that setting, because it really shows the love that people actually had for that setting and for that game. And so it's just really cool seeing all that coming in this community starting to thrive on that as well. So this will always be a mainstay on this channel. So later on this year, we're also planning on putting out our very first Road Wars campaign. We're going to call it Necromunda Ash Waste the Road Wars. That'll be a new series that will be coming up here soon. Right now, my friends are putting together our new gangs as well as our new vehicles using the brand new rules that came out for Necromunda the Ash Waste. That expansion finally dropped its official rules. We did have an unofficial campaign that we ran for the longest time using some homebrewed rules, but now that the real rules are out now and the official rules are out, we're going to be adapting our gangs to that. And so the reason why it's taking a little bit longer for us to actually create this campaign is because my friends and I have started brand new gangs, all new gangs, and trying out different things. For example, yours truly, me, I'm actually going to play a Nurgle corrupted slave ogre gang. And you might be thinking, Commander Cheapskate, why slave ogres? Because life is too short to play things easily. And I want to try that challenge of playing a slave ogre gang in the Ash Waste, because you really don't see that all that much. And I thought it'd be kind of cool to see exactly how they would perform in the Ash Waste. So we will have, I think, 8 gangs will be participating in this one. That's the reason why it's taking us a little bit longer to get the material out, so we do apologize for that. You know, sometimes real life gets in the way of our miniature wargaming hobby life, which is horrible. It shouldn't be that way, but you know, it happens sometimes. So once again, you guys could be expecting that down the pike with the Road Wars, and we're really super excited about bringing you that Ash Waste campaign. And one of the series that has been a real big sleeper hit for our channel, especially in the 2000 year, has been Way of the Underhive. A lot of you guys have really responded really well to this series, and this will probably be another mainstay for our channel as well. Currently, right now, our Way of the Underhive series is dedicated to building gang lists from both the Underhive as well as in the Ash Waste. Right now, we're currently going through all the different types of outcast gangs that you can play for the Ash Waste, and eventually we'll get to the house gangs, of course. The reason why we're waiting so long on the house gangs is because there are new things coming down the pike that we're seeing from Games Workshop, like those new jet bikes from the Eschers, as well as those new monster motorcycles that the Goliaths are driving. So that's the reason why we're kind of holding off, just because we're trying to see exactly what Games Workshop is coming out with for new material for the house gangs, and that way we can adapt those to our list as well. Because it'd be horrible for us to make a list and then, you know, suddenly have to make another one because, you know, something new came out for those gangs as well. So that's the reason why we're kind of doing all the other gangs first. We're starting off with gangs that are not really going to get all that much support from Games Workshop. It's going to be eons of time before they actually release something for those gangs, and that's the reason why we're focusing on those different fringe gangs first, and then we'll eventually go back to the house gangs to do that. And then, of course, the question that usually pops up is, well, Commander Cheapskate, what happens if you run out of ideas for building lists for gangs? What's going to become the Way of the Underhive? At that point, it would actually become a tutorial series at that point, like how to use actual tactics, not tactic cards, but actual tactics, like how to do gang compositions for fire teams, how to use cover, how to fight against Genesteal cultists, how to fight against corpse grinder cultists, for example, how to counter against Caldor gangs, you know, stuff like that. And that's exactly what we plan on doing with that series, with those tutorials, is showing you guys how to get the most out of your gang and what kind of tactics and techniques you can use on the tabletop to help you out. So yeah, Way of the Underhive is probably going to be here for a while yet, just because there's a lot of content we plan on making for that one, and you guys seem to love this content, and we're going to make it for you guys because it's addressing a real need for a lot of brand new players, especially those who are trying out Necromunda for the very first time. And once again, we will be continuing Hobby Side. This is our series of videos that we do revolving around the hobby aspect of wargaming, whether it's going to be terrain that we've built, or showcasing miniatures that we've done, or projects that we're currently working on as well. You guys love hobby side, we love hobby side. The hobby aspect is very strong in what we do on this channel. I mean, you've seen the terrain that we build and the armies that we field, and we have a hashtag that we use on this channel, which is hashtag painted before played, which means that all our miniatures have to be painted up before we actually put them on the tabletop, so that way it looks really professional and it looks really awesome as well. Plus, our resident terrain wizard, Iron Major, makes beautiful wargaming terrain for us to use on this channel. This guy does it for absolutely free. It's how he likes to be creative in the hobby as well. And so to use unfinished miniatures with his beautiful terrain, it's just a shame, to be perfectly honest, and that's the reason why I paint everything up as well. So we will continue on this series as well, showing you guys all the different cool things that are evolving with our channel and the hobby aspect of our channel as well, and we'll keep on putting those up semi-regularly throughout the year. And once again, Cheap Shots, our money-saving content that we make to showing you guys how to save money on the miniatures wargaming hobby, that's going to still be a mainstay for our channel as well. As of late, it's been mainly dealing more with painting. I've been noticing that a lot of players have been asking questions about saving money on miniatures wargaming, and the number one way you could possibly do so is with painting, actually. A lot of people like to paint their miniatures, and a lot of people like to use the more expensive paints, the name brand paints, and they usually come up into a wall when this happens because they usually have to choose between miniatures or paints because they're using the more expensive stuff. On this channel, we use craft paint to paint all of our miniatures because it's super cheap and they're readily available and you can get them almost anywhere. And so because I was showing you guys what kind of results we get using cheap craft paints as opposed to using the more expensive paints. So if you're a hobbyist and you're looking for a way to save money and you paint miniatures, that'd probably be the number one way you could save money. It could literally cut your expenses in half in some cases, sometimes even more, significantly more in some cases. We're saving some people hundreds of dollars in some cases with the miniatures painting that we're showing you guys using those cheap craft paint alternatives and achieving pretty much the same result. Now, a lot of people say, well, professionals and competition painters use these expensive paints, why shouldn't I? Well, that's because those people are professionals, they're competition painters, they use whatever tools work best for them because, you know, they're doing it on a professional level, and that's how it works. But for everyday Joe basement gamers or local game store gamers like me and many people who view this channel, the cheap craft paint will do the job just fine, and it actually comes out with a really good result as well. Other money saving tips we can come up with as well is looking for cheaper alternatives for miniatures and things of that nature, cheaper alternatives for terrain, cheaper alternatives for hobby supplies, that sort of thing as well. In fact, we are starting to adopt these $50 challenge that we're doing on this channel where we get 50 bucks and we try to get into a hobby for brand new. So that will be another mainstay on this channel. And another series that we'll be definitely continuing on this channel is Commander Cheapskate Game Reviews. This is where we actually take a look at new products, new games, new rule systems that are coming out over the course of the miniature wargaming hobby. We're actually starting to branch out now. Originally, we were looking for new ways to do things with GW products because we do use a lot of GW games on this channel, but there's a lot. I mean, there is a ton of new independent stuff coming out all over the place, and a lot of the cool things that you're seeing with that, especially with independent games, it's just absolutely fantastic, especially nowadays because people can actually literally create games now, and now that people have 3D printers available now and miniatures agnostic games are starting to become the new thing, the amount of creativity and the amount of just interesting things that people are creating as alternatives to miniature wargaming is absolutely fantastic. When I was a kid, I would have loved to have this kind of access to these different types of styles of games, miniature agnostic games especially, and that could have really helped out a lot when I was younger. And I'm really excited to see exactly what people are coming up with now for gamers who are just getting into the hobby and they're using these alternative ones. So for example, we've been taking a look recently over the Warhammer Army Project by Elias Matthias. We've been going over his army books for unreleased armies at this point. Fantastic content there. Check it out if you haven't done so. But now, like, for example, Snarling Badger Studios, made by Vince Venturilla of Warhammer Weekly and Adam Loper of Tabletop Minions. I mean, they've released another set of games for their studio, and we're really loving the products that are coming out for that. So we'll be definitely keeping this up, and we're actually thinking about branching out, talking about one-page rules, for example, will be another one we're thinking about taking a look at, especially since they got that free PDFs that you can download for the starter set, which is really cool. And of course, you can purchase the upgrade version with the full rules and the full campaign systems, so that might be something we'll be taking a look into as well, because there's a lot of cool stuff that's out there, and I think a lot of gamers now have a lot more options than they originally did, like when I first started out. So we'll be definitely keeping this series going for a long time. And the newest series that we have on this channel right now is our solo play campaign for Snarling Badger's Space Station Zero. This is another perfect example of an independent company that is making a very interesting miniatures game, skirmish-based game that's using miniatures agnostic, so you can use whatever miniatures you want. It's a very unique campaign setting based on an alien spacecraft, space station, a massively, impossibly large alien space station out in the middle of dead space, and different various alien crews from all across the universe, and even the multiverse are now trying to travel through Space Station Zero and figure out the mysteries of this huge place. And it's a really awesome game system because you have the idea of playing solo play or co-op play or even competitive play, or if you want to have a mixed bag of all three, which just makes it really neat. And so right now that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm doing a solo play campaign right now through Space Station Zero. I would like to do more with co-op play as well as competitive play, but unfortunately my gaming group just they don't have the time. Unfortunately, they just have very limited time. And I'm just grateful that they actually lend their time to do the content that I normally do on this channel anyways, because they're not being paid. I mean, they're just doing it because they're good people and we love playing miniatures wargaming. So I'm very grateful for that. So I'm not going to add anything more to them that they are not willing to commit because, you know, they're busy people and they have lives too. So that's the reason why I'm doing a solo play campaign on this one, because I'm really interested in it and I have the time and I'm going to make it happen. And that's what's going on there. So this will be the kind of the new episodes you see for the rest of the year. When we get to 2023, I do have some plan for some other content, but we'll talk about that when we get to the 2023 year. And this pretty much rounds up the content you can expect on this channel for the rest of the year. And once again, thank you so much, you guys, for your guys' subscriptions. I can't wait to see what we accomplish in the future and all the cool stuff that we'll be able to do together, especially not just on this channel, but as a community as a whole. I've been loving your guys' support, your guys' comments, the interactions, the back and forth as well. Never would I ever believe in my wildest dreams that miniatures wargaming would have a community like this, where people from even across different countries from across the planet can communicate with one another and help each other out. It's just amazing to see how that kind of positive interaction can really promote something like this, because we're all here for one simple reason. We love playing miniatures wargaming in one form or another, and that aspect of that, something that people are sharing in the love of something, is just absolutely fantastic, and seeing what people can do that together with that as well. And so once again, you guys, thank you so much for your guys' subscriptions and your viewerships. I can't wait to see what we guys accomplish together in the future. And once again, hopefully I'll be able to see you guys at 4,000 when we hit 4,000 subscribers. So that's my next goal now. So we'll see exactly what happens when we get there. So that's good news for this one, you guys. As always, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. Your guys' input is invaluable to us as always. Also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, as well as blogger.com for all the latest, greatest hobby news related to this channel. That's good for this one, guys. I will catch you guys on the next video. I love you guys. Peace out. Stay classy.